She is a Division I athlete.
We're gonna get comfortable discussing the uncomfortable.
She owns her own business.
I've been in business 20 years.
She's a constant public speaker.
Because it really is BS.
And she's just kind of badass. Join me in a warm welcome for Risha Grant.
The next 30 minutes are not going to suck. So I'm a small town, divorced, ex-preacher's wife who comes from a loving but largely religious family. Also happen to be a bisexual black woman, a serial entrepreneur, and a Catholic middle school basketball coach who runs a diversity consulting and communications firm in one of the reddest states in the nation. I am diversity personified. But so are you. So what does diversity really mean?
I feel like diversity and inclusion has become really convoluted. I would look at it in the most simplistic way possible, which is humanity and competitive advantage. When I think about humanity, I think about grace, I think about understanding, acceptance. When I think about competitive advantage, it takes me to the business side and how all of the diversity, the uniqueness of who you are brings together those diverse experiences where you create innovation for companies. You provide them with that competitive advantage based on your experiences. We have to get back to what it is, and that's people. You have to allow people to be engaged. You can't just invite them.
I mean, what does it really cost you to just be open for the next 30 minutes?
What do you think causes division? Companies say all the time, we're having diversity problems, we need to bring you in. I'm the problem, you're the problem, we're the problem. The only thing that I know for sure I can control is me. And we like to look at our organizations and say they need to do this and they need to do that, when really you need to work on yourself. It starts internally with you. If you will make the changes within yourself, that permeates to our companies, to our communities, and we begin to change. We can't wait on other people to change all the time. To put everybody in the box based on the actions of one or a few people, that's BS. That's wrong.
Now, let me take you back to 8th grade science for just a second. A synapse is how our brain communicates between brain cells, usually in one direction. That's how I feel we treat our bias. We think about people in one direction, which is usually negative. So I came up with a term called bias synapse, which is a play on the word she said, because it really is BS. Diversity is usually presented as this huge, complicated concept. I just don't see it that way. What I've learned is companies don't have diversity problems. They have people problems. I solve people problems. Permission Granted provides a 3-step process. The process teaches you to identify, own, and move through your BS. Additionally, it just gives you permission to feel how you want to feel. And what happens with our unconscious bias, and let me give you my definition for that because it's a little different. It's an unrecognizable part of our upbringing. This happens from the people that we love and the people that we care about that raised us or have been a part of our lives. When you're around white people, you need to dress better, speak better. You need to know more. All of these things still stick in my mind. And then you grow up and have your own personal experiences. Oh man, you mix your own stuff in with what people have already told you. Stick with me here. Some of you may be thinking, man, what is up with her? She has a lot of problems. I might. I did Ancestry DNA a few months ago. Oh man.
I'm 20% white. Oh, yes. I could not believe it. I get on the phone, start calling people, because that's a lot to me. I went to a dinner where we were invited to actually meet people that were different, and met this guy who has 666 tattooed across his forehead. That day, our newspaper ran an article that talked about removing, this tattoo parlor was going to remove gang-related or racist tattoos for free. I'm weighing in my mind, should I tell him, should I not? Maybe he wants to know. I'd want to know. I'm going through this whole thing, so I said, oh, what the hell. He began to share with me that the tat was actually rolling sixes, and it was a gang that he was in, and that he had gone to prison and done so much bad to so many people that now he had completely changed his life. He said, and other people in gangs, they see me living my life different. They know by this tattoo that I'm living my life different, and I've led so many people out of gangs. Wow. Forgive me. forgive me. You know, it's like I made an assumption about you. And he's like, you're right, it's a high price to pay. And my kids have asked me to get rid of this tattoo. He said, but I think I owe this. And so, and I kept thinking, man, but you could get it right here and it'd be just as effective, right?
So what I did with the transgender woman is that I asked her to go to lunch. And I spent 2 hours and said, hey, I just have questions. And it was not her responsibility to share that with me. It was not her responsibility to school me or educate me. But most people are willing to talk if you'll just take the chance to get to know them. When I started to play basketball, I absolutely hated it. Hated everything about basketball. But I had my older cousins that made me play. Well, I had one older cousin that began to take notice, saw me practicing. He began to work with me, taught me how to shoot the ball, taught me how to pass the ball. But when they would try to come and guard me, he would block them. He would allow me to shoot the ball. He would allow me to touch the ball. Unlike my other cousins who would just say, no, pass it back, hurry up, pass the ball back. It was horrible. If you want to affect change in someone's life, you do that through inclusion. I just want to say there's no them. There's only us, all of us. That's it. Please don't allow your corporate culture to be at odds with the communities you serve, or most importantly, your employees. Permission granted to feel however you want to feel about issues surrounding diversity and inclusion, but get your bias and naps in check because it really is all bullshit. Thank you guys so much for having me.